sacrifice.
Are you sure that's not the tithe for this book study?
Hello and welcome back to Apostate Coalition. I am Ryan. This is a news, education, information, entertainment program. And tonight on the Worldly Perspective, we're going to pass it on over to the lovely and most beautiful Dr. Time Waster because she is the Bible study conductor, which is just so unorthodox, right? This is out of this world to have a woman, a worldly woman running a Bible study. Wow. Shocking. Well, welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the lovely introduction. So we are doing this worldly book study. And we have been reading Life, How Did It Get Here? The only two options available, Evolution or Creation.
Yeah.
The only two. That's it.
Only two. Let's just stop even thinking about other options. No, seriously, let's think about it. That would be more fun than actually reading this next chapter. Anyways, welcome everybody.
Hello.
Did anybody
Hello,
read ahead? No,
sisters.
that's okay.
No.
I'm a bad Bible study.
Welcome everybody. If anybody's here, I didn't even look. We're here. It's all that matters. And we are on chapter 4 of this book. We just finished learning about the Genesis hypothesis or theory of how life got here.
You mean the truth?
No, I mean the theoretical human observations.
We will see, brother.
On planet Earth as it was created. Yes? That's kind of the whole sum of Genesis chapter 1.
That's the theory.
So anyway, if anybody doesn't have any other thoughts they'd like to refresh about the last chapter, which was a doozy, by the way.
Oh, it was a doozy. They were doing a lot of flippity flopping with the first day. Remember, they were like, because the first day is like there's light, but the sun hasn't been created yet. They're like, oh, it's just simply because on this day the light finally got through to the earth. That's what that meant. Like, okay,
new light.
That's that new light.
Yes, he started with light, then he had to up it to make it new, shiny, dust it off.
So when did he make the dinosaurs?
When he made the land creatures on day 5, was it? Day 6.
So wait, hang on. That's a good question. What do the Jehovah's Witnesses say about dinosaurs exactly?
They're not real.
I don't think I've had my parents tell me what they think, but I've never heard any official Jehovah's Witness. I can't recall any.
I don't know if I remember what they exactly say, but just because the days could be, so long that, they could be a millennia. That's when dinosaurs were created for. I have no idea. Yeah.
You know why I don't know? Because when I was 10 years old, Jurassic Park came out, and it was probably the most influential movie of my life. And I believed that movie, and I just didn't ask. Like, it's like,
right. Oh. Dino DNA.
65 million years ago. All right. I believe you. Move on. You have a velociraptor.
Years ago. Yeah.
So what was the square footage of the garden, though?
That's a good question. And where is it?
Square footage? Well, I think
it's supposed to be at the 4 waters. There's like 4 waters intersect, and that's where Eden is.
I thought it was supposed to be between the Tigris and Euphrates River. So,
maybe that. Yeah.
Not Missouri.
So the angels ain't out there gardening no more?
Depends on which book you're reading.
The angels gave up on it? I thought they was gardening.
No, because remember Aziraphale gave his flaming sword to the Adam and Eve as they got kicked out. No Good Omens fans here?
No? They got a flaming sword? Wait, they got a flaming sword?
Yeah. According to Good Omens.
Isn't there like a gate to Eden that couldn't be crossed after they were kicked out?
But where is it? We've been all around this globe.
In Iraq.
You're just supposed to know that it was there at some point in time. Which I believe
Mm.
The
That's what you
whole world
Texans say.
was at one time like a jungle.
I didn't understand you at first.
I know. Had to say it the George Bush way.
Yeah. Oh, Iraq. All right.
Yes.
Do you remember there was a book? There was a book. Not that it's not that it wasn't in my Bible storybook, but this illustration was used in one of their other publications, and it had a dinosaur in the water.
Is it the flood?
Yeah, that's the flood. So that's
Okay.
when dinosaurs died.
How many humans were there that he had to flood the whole earth?
There must have been a good bit that was getting it on, I guess.
Why couldn't he
Well-
just? I feel like he could have just like zapped them all with lightning. Why make all the other animals suffer?
Wait. In the
That'd be
Bible,
fun.
Oh, why not just have them incendiate like on their own? Just
Like in
Good point.
go up
like,
in flames.
like in do like on Avengers Endgame. They just away.
Yeah.
isn't there like other beings on the earth right before God floods it that are not humans
They were on the ark?
that were on the earth?
No, I'm sorry.
Baby dinosaurs.
I was reading what Dan D said, and Dan D said that Kent Hovind said that dinosaurs were on the ark, but babies.
Oh, the
Noah
baby.
took baby
Because that's
Noah
how that
took
works.
Baby. He took the eggs. He just took the eggs and sat on them.
Mhm.
So he made it easy for the dinosaurs to be transported. Just made it difficult for all the rest of them.
I guess. I don't know. They just can't explain it, so they'll just make anything up.
It is amazing how they do it. I'm jealous.
Oh gosh, do we need to get to the Bible study? I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
That's fine. Whatever.
We've just been we've been going on and on about dinos.
Satan's trying to influence our study.
I see. Get them out of here.
Satan planted the bones, the dinosaur bones, to
Mhm.
trick us. That's all just a evil trick.
Yes, that sounds right. I've heard that before.
I have too.
Not necessarily from Joe's witnesses, but I have heard that before.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Not necessary for them. I just.
My husband has a shirt that says "Teach the controversy," and is the devil fakely burying dinosaurs, like putting dinosaur bones under the ground.
Stop. Oh, that is awesome.
That's pretty
That's
good. Yeah.
funny. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. That's respectable.
Whoa. Whoa.
What?
Hold on.
Something go crazy?
One of her captives must have escaped.
Oh, that's funny.
Like I see. Now she gotta go. See? Now she gotta go teach him a lesson. Go get the raptor.
Go get the raptors. They're trying to eat the camels again. Oh,
Yeah.
brother.
Dang,
soon-
I'm just gonna have to keep chat open so I can read all of the comments.
Yeah, you have to because everybody's they want to talk to us. You got to
I
reply.
know.
Okay,
I'm
so
not gonna
Emily
look- I'm not
says,
looking at y'all anymore.
I guess the fire sword wasn't enough. Sword. I say sword. Sword wasn't enough of a warning. So Jehovah had to send his most thuggish angels to be security guards. I remember that picture is iconic. That's from this book, isn't it?
Having the eating bouncers, the bouncers won't let us in.
Yeah, or at least one of them. I mean, that picture is probably everywhere. Here it is. in the back.
Imagine being the top thug for
Oh, it's hard to
Yahweh.
see.
Bro, if you're Yahweh's top security guard, how bad of a
Oh, there we
motherfucker are
go.
you?
You get cast down to hell.
What?
Garden the Eden.
Can you guys hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Did
Okay.
you try?
Did you guys hear that weird echo, or was it just on my end?
That was just on your end.
Okay.
That's on your end. Yeah.
Like
That's the devil.
it was. I was like, am I schizophrenic? What's happening?
That was funny.
Satan came to get you.
All right. Well, not today, Satan. So let's
Not
get to
today.
this. No more stalling.
Schwab.
What?
Yeah, my husband always makes fun of how I talk because I'm sure you guys realize I make up my own words or I'll just mess words. I just do. I say sword, I say
We can
water.
understand you. It's
Yeah, right. Like I don't even care anymore. Like I'm tired of like even caring. Anyway, back to the Bible study.
all right.
I
Let's get to
digress.
biz. All right. Oh wait, so we ended chapter 3 after we talked about the most plausible explanation for life, Genesis 1, and matches perfectly with Genesis 2, not contradictory at all. Um, that chance is the reason why Genesis is more plausible and nay proof um, that it is true, because chance. And so, what are
Because
the chances of Moses? Was Moses supposed to write Genesis?
yeah, supposedly
Supposedly, yeah. He had a lot of writing. He
he
covered a
did
lot of
not.
ground. Um, but
Oh,
he was there, right? He
Oh,
was there when the earth was created. That's the other point that the last chapter was making with Genesis. Somebody had to be there. Somebody was
Oh,
there.
right.
Like,
That
oh,
was it.
they might be making that right, but I don't. Yeah, I don't
no, I
know.
don't think that actually happened, but I'm just saying
No,
that
I don't. But I don't know that I'm
I
saying
was
I don't
not
know that the
convinced.
Bible explicitly says that. I think that's somebody like they're inferring that or implying
Right.
it,
The
whatever.
authors of this book.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. 100%. There we go.
All right. So now we're going to go back to arguing why evolution is terrible and Genesis is correct because of chance. So let's jump in.
Because let's
when
do it.
Charles Darwin advanced his theory of evolution, he conceded that life may have been originally, oh no, breathed,
Yes. Yes, sir.
Breathed.
breath,
No, I'm
Breathe.
just kidding.
No, you had it right with breathe, brother. Don't let the
breathed,
Breathed.
women
breathed
make a question.
Don't let Satan mislead you tonight.
by
I'm
the
Satan.
by the creator into why they put that C into a capital C into a few forms or into one. But present day evolutionary theory generally eliminates any mention of a creator. Instead, the theory of the spontaneous generation of life, that's not what it is. Once repugnant, has been revived in a somewhat altered form.
I would like to hear Tyler's thoughts on this first chapter or paragraph because I gotta know. What do you think?
Um, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
they're, they're, they're saying the same thing they've been saying. Like they putting these little buzzwords in here. Nobody says nothing about spontaneous, nothing.
No,
And they
what is
put that and they put that word there purposely to set it up. See, they just saying spontaneous. Have you ever seen anything
Yes.
spontaneous? And
well
if you don't know nothing else and you coming in and this book, if you don't read a lot, this book sounds almost smart because they're using a lot of big words and a
Almost.
lot of different stuff here and there. But I see through their game. I
well
see
I
it.
have you ever
did
heard of the theory of spontaneous generation?
No.
It is a thing that did exist at one point in time.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's the thing that Pasteur basically debunked, and that's germ theory. They were saying
oh.
maggots, sprung out of nothing, a spontaneous generation of life.
Yes.
And then we
Mm,
discovered germs
right.
and microscopic organisms.
It is the experiment that he basically used to debunk that the jar of meat with a cloth over it.
I don't know the specific. That sounds familiar. I think Louis Pasteur, I believe, did. He did
Yeah.
several experiments. There was the swan neck one, where basically it still exists today, where he created a sterile environment, but it's open, and it's just because of the airflow and the design of the glass, and so there's still sterile water in the glass today, and even though it's just been sitting out in the open. And there's other things that he basically did to prove that germs are a thing, and then when you clean it and sterilize the area, when you wash your hands before you do surgery, amazing, people don't die as fast. So huge step. This was a huge step in the advancement of medical sciences and our understanding of microscopic life, a whole scale of life that we never knew existed until
Let's
that
just
moment.
let's just go back to not washing our hands.
Well, speaking of that, do you happen to know
You don't need to
there was
wash your legs either,
there was
apparently.
a guy who was trying to cure some type of disease, I think that was affecting uh, newborn children. And anyways, he was trying to get the hospitals to be sanitized and insisted that cleaning the sheets and everybody washing their hands and all that is what was preventing people from contracting this disease.
What a whack job, right?
Right.
Wackadoo.
And nobody believed him.
Mm-hmm.
And they just continued not to believe him for his entire life. And there was arguments about it in scientific journals. And then he ended up getting committed to a sanatorium by his family, and then he died of the disease that he was trying to prevent. And
That's really super depressing.
yeah,
Well,
We
that
are very terrible to people who discover a thing that we don't want to hear.
absolutely right.
Be a lesson in history.
2, belief in a form of spontaneous. I feel like I'm butchering that word, but hey, it's life.
Spontaneous.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm from Louisiana. Don't do me. Belief in a form of spontaneous generation can be traced back for centuries. In the 17th century CE, even respected men of science, including Francis Bacon, William
Bacon.
William Harvey, accepted the theory. However, by the 19th century, Louis Pasteur and
Sorry, I
other
ruined it.
yeah, you're on it. And other scientists have seemingly dealt it a death blow, having proved by experiments that life comes only from previous life. Oh, there they go. They're setting it up. Previous. Nevertheless, out of the necessity, evolutionary theory assumes that long ago microscopic life must somehow have arisen.
Oh, oh,
Bro, someone's not paying attention.
Spontaneous, spontaneously from non-living matter.
Mm.
I'll wait for that part. Any thoughts on that part?
So they're equating the spontaneous generation theory of life to evolution.
Yeah.
It's not even equivalent. It's an alternative to abiogenesis theory, which we'll also basically we're going to jump into here. And you know what? I'm going to be super generous here. Let's just move the abiogenesis theory into the theory of evolution, and then just be open to the fact that maybe that part of it isn't right, but it's kind of a plausible option for the moment.
I'll pretend like I even know what that is.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, Richard Dawkins is actually going to explain it here, and I could not believe, quoted him. So,
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
am actually impressed by that.
A new form of spontaneous generation. A current evolutionary position on life's starting point is summarized in his book, The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. He speculates that in the
they moved the thing. That's what I was.
Oh, okay. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I was like,
oh.
what the hell?
In the beginning, Earth had an atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, and water. Through energy supplied by sunlight and perhaps by lightning and exploding volcanoes, these simple compounds were broken down and then they reformed into amino acids. A variety of these gradually accumulated in the sea and combined into protein-like compounds. Ultimately, he says the ocean became an organic soup, but still lifeless.
Organic soup. Ah, that sounds delicious.
Mm. Not really. I mean, well, every soup I eat is usually organic, but I wouldn't title it that
Not
though.
that kind of organic.
It's organic soup in the ocean.
What you eating tonight? Some organic soup.
Organic soup. Somebody making soup?
That kind of sounds like you did something to the soup that you should.
What outline has been given of the steps leading to the
So,
origin of life?
oh, 3 and 4, I guess, are together. But I would say this chapter is just summarizing a page because guess what? I have the whole context of this page here. In Richard Dawkins has this book called The Selfish Gene, and they just kind of summarize loosely. It's more or less not a terrible summation of it, but I have more thoughts on this. Do you?
You want me to read? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll read.
keep going because they didn't quote
Okay.
him or anything. Other than,
Then, oh, okay. Then, according to Dawkins' description, a particular remarkable molecule was formed by accident, a molecule that had the ability to reproduce itself. Through admitting that such an accident was exceeding improbable, he maintains that it must nevertheless have happened. Similar molecules clustered together, and then again, by an exceedingly improbable accident, they wrapped a protective barrier of protein molecules around them as membrane. Thus, it is claimed the first living cell generated itself. Right there, that's how you get them. This sounds. They don't even know what this is. If you don't know what he's talking about, what are they talking about? It sounds outlandish if you don't know nothing about it.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So they say, what do they quote? A particular remarkable molecule was formed by accident. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to take you directly from that quote and down just a little bit. Okay, he does go into, I think, better detail, more specific and scientific detail, that if you actually want to understand this, you will go back and read what he wrote and not this very basic summation. But he says, at some point, a particularly remarkable molecule was formed by accident. We will call it the replicator. It may not necessarily have been the biggest or most complex molecule around, but it had the extraordinary property of being able to create copies of itself. This may seem very unlikely sort of accident to happen, so it was. It was exceedingly improbable. But in the lifetime of man, things that are improbable can be treated for practical purposes as impossible. That is why you will never win a big prize on the football pools. But in our human estimates of what is probable and what is not, we are just not used to dealing in hundreds of millions of years. So if you fill a pools of coupons every week for 100 million years, you would very likely win several jackpots. Okay.
True.
Keep that in mind as we move forward.
Okay. Where did I stop? Oh, I'm down to 5.
Oh, 5. Yeah. There we go.
Oop. At this point, a reader may begin to understand Dawkins' comment. No, they won't. In the preface to his book, this book should be read almost as though it was science fiction. Wrong book. But readers on the subject will find that his approach is not unique. Most other books on evolution also skim over the staggering problem explaining the emergence of life from non-living matter. Thus, Professor William Thorpe of the zoology department of Cambridge University told fellow scientists all the fallacies. That's fallacy. What's that? What I'm saying?
Facile?
Facile.
Facile?
Come
Facile?
on, Dr. Time Master.
Yeah,
No, now I'm not paying attention. Where are we at?
All the follicles. What's that? What is that? What is that?
I don't facile
Fossils.
speculations.
Oh, that word feels fake. But anyway, all of
It's
Peyton's telling you
fancy
that,
for no
brother.
reason.
all of
Peyton's telling
all-
you that, brother.
he's trying to trip me up. All
Yes,
of
he is.
all of facile speculations and discussions published during the last 10 to 15 years explaining the mode of origin of life have been shown to be far too simple-minded and to bear very little weight. The problem, in fact, seems as far from solutions as it ever was. But they love them words, boy. They love adding in all these run-on sentences.
Simple
So
minded.
what I'm hearing this book say is Even Richard Dawkins says this book should be read as though it were science fiction. And here's another scientist who says that evolution is, what is it? The origin has been shown to be far too simple minded and to bear very little weight. The problem, in fact, seems far from solution as it ever was. So, like, oh no, we're so far away. I'm just going to say something here. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. Right? The less you know, you think you know everything. Have we ever like
Yeah.
made fun of children for thinking they know everything and
Exactly.
they've barely experienced the world, right?
I have argued my daughter down trying to convince her that macaroni is pasta. She said, "No, it's not pasta." I said, "It's pasta. It says it's on the box. It's just a type of pasta. It's pasta." But, can't convince her.
She don't like pasta.
But she
but
was
she
she.
likes
But if I
macaroni.
but I'm supposed to put this book in front of her and think that yeah, her mind's rational
Oh,
enough to
she's gonna walk you now. She's not
she's
gonna like that.
rational. She's rational enough to hear this stuff in her ear to believe and understand it's true.
By the way, I
Yeah,
do have the full quote of the Richard Dawkins saying that you should read it as science fiction if you guys want to read it.
yeah, they cherry picked the quote and and at times they'll even put like what's the dot dot dot? Is it just
The
called
ellipses.
ellipses? There we go. And to cut out pieces of it and then a
Because
few words.
it's not like those people in that setting is gonna go read Doctor
No,
Richard
they're not
Dawkins'
gonna go.
book. They're
Mm-mm.
not that once they leave out of that, they're done. They're never gonna go look up the stuff ever again. And you could tell when they come online too. It's oh, you learned all your stuff from there. I can see. I see y'all showing up.
Yeah, this is the easiest out for them. It just seems like all roads lead to all these ideas and thoughts are just theories and can be disproved. So, doesn't this sound more plausible? Yes, it's truth.
By the way, just one sentence away, he says the book should be read almost as though it were science fiction, but
Right.
it's not science fiction. It's science.
Science.
Right. And also, if you've listened to Richard
That's what he said.
Dawkins talk very much, you know that is the way that he did something. You should read this almost as if it was science fiction. You should almost consider this as if you yourself were a monkey evolving into a human. That's the type of language he uses, is my point.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Six.
Even
right.
English. They're
Six.
goofy.
Sex. Pardon. Sir.
That's the devil. Get out of here, devil.
666.
The
Anyway, I
recent,
recommend people read Richard Dawkins. Sorry, go ahead.
the recent explosive increase of knowledge has only served to magnify the gulf between non-living and living things. Even the oldest known single-celled organism have been found to be incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. I'm messing that word up, but you know what I'm saying.
It's
Complex.
complex.
Yeah, that. The problem for biology is to reach a simple beginning. Say astronomers. Man, I'm really can't read tonight, huh? Fred Hoyle and Chandra
Oh my God! What?
Wickramasaka.
We're really gonna tongue tie you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try, man.
Do you think the poor guy that did
The
have
jokes
to
write
read the book
themselves
study?
sometimes.
Fossil residue of ancient life forms discovered in the rocks do not reveal a simple beginning. So the what's up with the dots? So the evolutionary theory lacks a proper foundation. Hmm. And information increases, the harder it becomes to explain how microscopic forms of life that are so incredible complex could have arisen by chance. But here's the thing: they're so complex, but y'all story is so simple.
Complex.
No, theirs is simple.
No, well, yeah, but theirs is also the way they're trying to explain it
Oh
compared
yeah,
to
they
science
yeah.
is just
They're
it's they're doing mental gymnastics.
yeah, because they're trying to make something their little simple story that nobody was betting on this. No, I was betting on being able to to learn more things. There was so oh yeah, this is good enough, you know. And then now it's like, oh, we got to make this work. It don't work. It just sounds weird.
Mhm.
It's
Weird.
incomprehensibly complex. You could never know. You know, I actually Googled what is the definition of incomprehensible? Not able to be understood, not intelligible.
They sound like a moody teenager.
Sounds like somebody who's like, I can't figure it out, therefore it's not possible to be
I'm
known.
just too
Yeah,
incomprehensible.
it's
I can't.
I don't understand math. It must not exist. Or it's not important.
Right.
That's how I live.
Math is fake.
Fake news.
The principal steps en route to the
Oh.
origin of life, and envisioned by ooh, evolutionary theory are, I guess, one, the existence of right primitive atmospheres, and two, a concentration in the oceans of an organic soup of simple molecules necessary for life. Three, from these come proteins and nucleotides, complex chemical compounds. That four, combine and acquire a membrane, and therefore five, they develop a genetic code and start making copies of themselves. Are these steps in accord with the available facts? This sounds like they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they've really tried to
Because they're not
they
even
just
explaining it. They're not even
How is it?
yeah, they're just
they're
trying to
not
make it sound
smarter than what it is
Mhm.
because you're not even explaining this to these people. If you were really honestly trying to convince these people, you would explain this, but y'all just making it sound complicated. And these people don't want to learn this junk.
Can we go back to their 1 through 10 steps that they had back in Genesis of what proof that in this perfect order is how life happened? And they're making this sound stupid?
mm,
I'm going to lose
mhm.
it.
Yeah, a little hypocritical.
You know,
The coach.
they had the but old light, then you get new light.
No, no,
The
That's
no.
newest.
No,
yeah.
no, no, no. I'm going to read it to you. The account of Genesis lists 10 major stages in order of exactly how the earth was formed. Number 1, a beginning. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
You
Y'all
could have
ever
just left that one off.
You
you
Number
ever
explained it.
you ever
Number
seen
Now I
it?
get
2,
it.
a primitive earth in darkness and enshrouded in heavy gases and water.
Soup?
Number 3,
Is
light.
that the soup?
Number 4, an expanse or atmosphere. Number 5, large areas of dry land. Number 6, plants. Number 7, the sun and the moon and the stars are discernible in the expanse, and seasons start because plants existed before seasons. And sea monsters and flying creatures. 9, wild and tame beasts and mammals. And then 10, man.
Man.
It sounds
Boy,
easy.
that explains it all.
It
I'm
just sounds easy.
sold.
It
But this
sounds
is
it sounds
Science.
outrageous.
but it sounds but that's the thing. It sounds right when you don't know nothing.
Right, because it's so simple. Like you
It's
said, it is so
it doesn't make
simple.
you because the thing is you don't want to feel stupid. So that if you I know about life, light, new
Mhm.
light, sea creatures. I'm smart. But
Yeah.
when you reading this, you reading this like, oh, I don't feel so smart. I don't even know what any of this is.
Right, chemical compounds,
What's a
simple
nucleotide?
molecule.
I've never seen a
Exactly.
nucleotide before. Oh, this sounds
Right.
like hogwash.
Did anyone else see the little caption for that picture right there and think that was the one of the World Trade Center buildings?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
For
is it?
like a hot minute, I thought they had just showed the World Trade Center building, and then that was the
Oh, right.
quote that they were using.
Oh, that would have
no,
No.
been. Oh, that would have
No.
been
No large building could stand
That
without a foundation. The evolutionary theory lacks
right.
proper foundation.
Says two
Said
say two
two.
scientists.
scientists.
Two scientists.
What
That is
kind of
Tower 7, is it?
scientists?
Two.
Just two though.
Just
Aren't
That's
there
it.
many kinds of scientists though? So
two.
let me tell you.
Two scientists.
So the two they mentioned, one of which was Fred Hoyle. I would recommend
Hoyle.
Wikipediaing that guy. I'm sure he had
no.
some. I'm sure
It's
he's a
scary.
total legit scientist. He's an astrophysicist, I think. No. Wait,
Did you
Google
say asshole physicist?
astronomer. Sorry.
I
But
think.
he
I think.
criticized publicly the Big Bang Theory in favor for a model called the steady state model. He doesn't believe in creationism, but he did also disagree with like evolution. But he came up with panspermia. He believed in panspermia, which is the life being populated by aliens or asteroids. So he
Panspermia?
doesn't believe in creation.
Hmm.
He found an
Sheesh.
alternative to the two options.
Yeah, that's a completely different option.
And it still is probably evolution, but
That was evolution.
I like the idea of it being alien sperm, though. I mean, that's just kind of.
it's a hot.
Sexy, at the very least.
What was that? Sorry, say that again.
I said sexy at the very least. Is my
Oh.
microphone not very loud?
Or I'm going deaf. Can you guys hear him?
Yeah.
Is it me? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to say on this?
Oh,
Yeah. Mm.
okay.
Nah.
The perimeter.
Nah.
Dang, I don't know what's going on today. The primitive atmosphere. In 1953, Stanley Miller passed an electric spark through an atmosphere of hydrogen, methane, ammonia, and water vapor. This produced some of the many amino acids that exist and that are the building blocks of protein. However, he got just 4 of the 20 amino acids needed for life to exist. More than 30 years ago, scientists were still unable to experimentally to produce all the 20 necessary amino acids under conditions that could be considered plausible.
3 years
Wait.
ago, huh? I wonder
Wait.
what they found in the last 60 years.
No, wait, hold on.
Nothing.
Wait, so he was able to get 4 of them?
Yeah, but he didn't get them all. So
No,
In
but
his first try?
no, no,
that's like no, I mean
it's not.
whatever. If that's all they ever could do, that to me is enough.
No,
like
it's not-
geez, oh
no.
grief, that's
That was they had
enough.
30 years to do it. They had 30 years to do it. And all I
60
could do was
years ago, they had 30 years. Remember, this was put
Yeah,
out
like
in
I wonder,
1985?
oh yeah,
you know what's
Not
I
from
s-
today.
current.
I squeezed out a year later.
But seriously, the fact that they're poo-pooing 4, could you do 4, bitch? Like, please.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna steal the screen really quick and share something with you.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Ta-da. Oh, I guess I did something.
Yeah.
Dang
What?
it! Oh
Hands per
Is it
minute.
not allowing you to share?
no, it's not allowing me. I had screwed something up on my computer earlier and reset all settings, and now I
Yeah.
have to go fix it. All right. Well, I would highly recommend everybody go and look up abiogenesis. In fact, if you go to Wikipedia, there's somebody else who can share the
Want me
screen.
to?
wants to do
I
this,
can do it.
and type in abiogenesis. There's a really nice diagram, and it kind of shows you the scale of what abiogenesis is saying. And like you said, wow, he did 4 of the 20 amino acids needed.
Not impressed.
Okay, that little diagram right there where you see the Earth. Can you zoom in
Oh,
on
this
that?
one?
Yeah.
Mm,
I
Just
think.
zoom in
Oh,
as far as
there
you
we go.
can.
mm.
Okay. So they're like the world, not flat. And prebiotic synthesis. So like these are molecule compounds. Like these are carbon rings, and each line is a organic chemistry or biochemistry, organic chemistry, I guess. It's like if you ever see them do the drawings of like dopamine and caffeine, and then people got those little necklaces and stuff. It's this is the stuff.
Okay.
They're just molecules.
Chains
Right?
of
So that's the scale. So we're looking at the scale of, if you could look at a molecule of caffeine, this is the size it is, right? And then we go into another scale where there are these polymer vesicles. So we've zoomed way out, and then as we keep going, we keep zooming out, and we keep zooming out, and we keep zooming out to bigger and bigger and bigger scaled life. And that's what this is. So like the one at the end is basically evolution of animals and bacteria, archaea, and eukaryotic life. Which
I see why. I see why people do. I see why people. I see why. I see why they.
why they want the black and white version, the
I
ones
see.
in
I
the
see
God
what-
did it. I mean, God did it.
I
That's
see
so
why.
much
'Cause
easier.
I could imagine sitting in on Sunday and somebody got a slideshow like this. I'd be like, oh,
But have you ever
Yeah.
seen like those videos where they like keep zooming out and zooming out and zooming out
Mhm.
until you get into the solar system, and then it just,
Yeah.
the scale of it is so massive and impressive. And this is the first time in, I'd say, any animal kingdom, human history, whatever,
I bet the first.
that we've perceived these scales before. So sorry.
I bet they did try to do this in church at one time, and then they said, "Never mind, this is just
Too hard.
This is
God did it.
too. It's too. It ain't exciting enough.
Exciting.
I mean, come on. I need some brimstone with this. I need some music, or something.
Hellfire, please. Oh, I guess I need to zoom back. Oh, no, I need to share the other tab. That's what I
Thank you for indulging me on that. Okay. We need to move forward.
Yeah, I remember. You remember when Wikipedia first came out? People was like, "Don't use it. Don't use
That's like one of
Wikipedia."
the best, most reliable places where you can actually see the sources of where they got it and go to those sources. Yeah.
Yep.
I did want to just say, this is the note I made on the side of this argument. And actually, yeah, their argument in this, the authors in this book, is in order for life to have spontaneously started, all these long shot and improbable things would need to have happened. How improbable for so many rare things to magically come together by chance randomly. God must be a more logical answer.
It is.
That's their argument. But the scientific approach is, we know life on this planet exists, regardless of the statistical probabilities. What can we observe directly and indirectly that would give us clues to how it could have happened? Does what we know of the neutral planet, the natural world, provide any opportunity for life to have occurred? And do the earth changes over time support environments and opportunities for life to have continued for so long to today? Those are my thoughts. The end.
Ta-da!
Welcome to my brain, you guys. This is the stuff I think.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
All right, we can move on. Sorry.
Miller assumed that Earth's primitive atmosphere
Ooh.
was similar to the one in its experimental flask. Why? Because as he and a coworker later said, the compounds of biological interest takes place only under reducing no free oxygen in the atmosphere conditions. Yet other evolutionists theorized that oxygen was present. The dilemma this creates for evolution is expressed by Hitchings. With oxygen in the air, the first amino acid could have never got started. Without oxygen, it would have been wiped out by cosmic rays. The fact is, any attempt to establish the nature of Earth's primitive atmosphere can only be based on guesswork or assumption. No one knows for sure what it was like, except for us.
They weren't there.
Except for us. Oh, sorry, that was really good.
Oh, okay. Would an organic soup form?
I was just gonna, sorry, just
Oh,
really quick.
okay.
I was gonna say the if you go back and look up the Miller-Urey experiment, what they were talking about making synthesizing all the amino acids, they've done it. They have done it again and again. And guess what? Lots of time has passed because they did it in the 1970s, and they have been able to make more things. So it is decently plausible that it could happen that way. And then there's also like hydrothermal vents and geological sources of heat and energy that they have found life could have evolved multiple times on this own planet, possibly different ways, but it all could have started off with the same basic points, like the same early chemical soup, so to speak.
Chemical soup.
Chemical soup sounds delicious. It's like Lucky Charms.
Right. And
What me chemical soup?
isn't panspermia the idea that life developed elsewhere and then
Yeah.
would travel to Earth in some form? Like
Yeah, it got here somehow.
Right.
From
Asteroid,
other
alien
space.
turd.
Yeah, a different origin.
So
is
I'm
the
sure
idea.
they're probably going to argue that because life could not have developed in the conditions that Earth had, that therefore it must have been creation, leaving out the idea of panspermia entirely.
Oh, they're not going to mention that. I don't think at
Right.
all, because that God did it.
God did it. Won't he do it?
He will do it. You will do it. He's working
Won't
to
he
it.
do it?
Would an organic soup form? How likely is it that amino acids thought to have formed in the atmosphere would drift down and form an organic soup in the oceans? Not likely at all. The
Not
same,
likely.
the same energy that would split the simple compounds in the atmosphere would even more quickly decompose any complex amino acids that form. Interestingly, in its experiment I can't see that bottom.
Sorry. There we go.
Of passing an electric spark through an atmosphere, Miller saved the four amino acids he got only because he removed them from the area of the spark. Had he left them there, the spark would have decomposed them. However, if it is assumed that amino acids somehow reached the ocean and were protected from the destructive ultraviolet radiation in the atmosphere, what then? Hitchin explained. Beneath the surface of the water, there would not be enough energy to activate further chemical reactions. Water, in each case, inhibits the growth of more complex molecules.
Hmm?
Mm.
I think Jonathan has the answer.
Who?
Oh, does he?
In the
Oh,
chat.
yes. Oh, life
This is
finds
a
a way.
this is a Jurassic Park episode, you guys.
Yes. Mhm.
Gotcha.
All Jurassic Park
Wait, so you got the
all
episode?
day.
Are you guys tired yet? I mean,
I've
Never.
been tired of this book for a long time, but
Never.
Oh,
I'm
I've
learning
never.
so much.
This is
I'm
my
used
first
to the
time
book.
seeing this, and this is just. I almost look upon you people with pity.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to laugh your ears
Oh,
off. Shit.
y'all had to
uh,
sit through this
Please pity
nonsense.
me.
Y'all had to sit through this nonsense.
Yup.
so I just want. There's so many of these chapters. There's paragraphs, and the questions are all about amino acids, and at no point do they take the time to even like
What is
tell you
somebody?
what they are.
Yeah, because
Yes.
What
They've
is
just
an
skipped
amino acid? Like,
over
what
that.
is it?
Yeah.
Help me understand what it
They've
even is.
skipped the thing is they give that picture about the basics, the foundations, but they are the ones who skip the foundation of explaining what
Yes,
a
they say
topic
the
is,
words, but
whatever.
they don't even
Right.
attempt to
Yeah,
genuinely
Because
understand
they
it.
don't want
Help
you to
teach
be
they're
us.
educated.
they're banking on you just hearing these big words.
Mhm.
They-
Yeah, and
Why?
going like, "Oh,
Because
that's too out of my league."
that's how I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna trust these people here. they've done the research.
That's enough for me. I mean,
Right.
really, that's like what you're trained to do, to think like, well, they've done it. I trust them. They've said they've done the studies.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
appeal to authority? I don't know.
Oh,
Your elder says it, so it must be true. Why would they be wrong? God, Jehovah is guiding them.
are these beans, I'm guessing, are supposed to be amino
Something.
acids? I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm
Yeah, this
assuming.
is going to be more of the like, what's the probability? What's the chance
so
that these things could be smushed together and a pizza pie would come out of your hands?
Right. Take some tomatoes, take a
Everybody's
cow.
going.
and you can make a watch. So once amino acids are in the water, they must get out of it if they are to form larger molecules and evolve towards becoming protein useful for the formation of life. But once they get out of the water, they're in the destructive ultraviolet light again. In other words, Hitching says the theoretical chances of getting through even this first and relatively easy stage, getting those amino acids, in the evolution of life are forbidding. Although it is commonly asserted that life spontaneously arose in the oceans, bodies of water simply are not conducive to the necessary chemistry. Chemist Richard Dickerson explains. It is therefore hard to see how polymerization, linking together small molecules to form bigger ones, could have proceeded in the, it's a good one right there, environment of the, the primitive ocean. Since the presence of water favors depolymerization, breaking up the big molecules into simpler ones, rather than polymerization. Come on now. Biochemist George Wall agrees with these views, stating spontaneous dissolution is much more probable and hence proceed much more rapidly than spontaneous synthesis. This means there would be no accumulation of organic soup. Wall believes this to be the most stubborn problem that confronts us evolutionists.
They did this so dirty. They
Yep.
really
Oh, they
make it a
butchered it.
joke. They
They
make it a
go.
joke.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear what Richard Dawkins says about
Yeah. What do you say?
this idea?
Yeah.
So,
About which idea exactly?
just this concept of like abiogenesis and proteins and molecules being the building blocks of life and surviving, and how you need water, but then you have to be out of water, but then the sun um it was anyway. um so he says that naturally occurring amino acids would have been thought of as diagnostically the presence of life. And then he talks about how if they had been detected on Mars, life on that planet would have seemed a near certainty. However, their existence need imply only the presence of a few simple gases in the atmosphere, some volcanoes, sunlight, or thundery weather. More recently, laboratory simulations of chemical conditions of Earth before coming to life have yielded organic substances called purines and pyrimidines, and these are the building blocks of the genetic molecule of DNA itself. Which biologists and chemists
Biologists.
believe, see, I can do it too, constituted the seas of some 3 or 4 thousand million years ago. The organic substance became locally concentrated, perhaps in drying scum around the shores, perhaps.
Why do they gotta call it scum?
Pond
Come
scum.
on now.
I mean, have you seen pond scum? It's actually
Yeah.
quite an apt
What?
description.
What stuff?
Pond scum. Like, you ever been to a
Bathtub
lake
scum.
and it's just like this foamy protein?
Oh yeah, that
stuff
looks.
around
Yeah,
the
that does.
edges?
It
That's
looks
what they're talking about.
scum.
Or in
Scum.
suspended in tiny droplets. Under the further influence of energy such as ultraviolet light from the sun, they combine into larger molecules. That seems opposite of what that chapter said, where you needed to be in water, but then you have to get out of water, and then it hits the light, and then it
It's
dies.
too much, right? The ultraviolet light.
This says that
Yeah.
it actually needed it to do that.
No, no. See, they're talking about the new light and the old light.
the filtered
So,
light
yeah,
before the land,
Right.
yeah.
the plants got
See,
there. I mean,
the new light is a good light.
well, it would have
We
been the
got the
filtered
order
light
a little
before
bit
the
wrong.
sun and moon was brought into the expanse, because
Yeah.
you can't have plants if you don't have cells.
Ew.
So anyway, there's a whole bunch more, and he
That's
goes
weird.
into this in much greater detail. So if y'all want to know, there are ways of finding out.
Always away.
I googled this book, by the way. I got a PDF free on the internet, so, and no
Nice.
viruses, surprisingly. So anyway,
Viruses are the
It's
things of
always
the
the
past.
risk.
Viruses are things of the past. They just ransom your computer now. Give me some money to free up your computer.
where are we?
Oh, are we on
Go to the next page.
15 now? Yeah. What's
Oops.
this hand say? Life use of left-handed
This is
amino
a
acids.
cis and trans hands. Sorry. There's a
That-
scientific joke in there, because cis molecule and trans molecule of they're called enantiomers, and they're basically
Oh.
molecules where there's a left-hand version and then there's a right-hand version of it, the way they orient in space.
I gotta remind you. I gotta remind you. I gotta remind you again. I just draw. That's what I do. Like I'm drawing. I'm
I
drawing.
did have to study chemistry a lot, so
I
maybe
never.
this is probably why it's interesting to me. So, yeah, molecules have mirror images of each other, and so like in drugs, they're called enantiomers, and so when they make like drug molecules, there'll be a left-handed and a right-handed one, and sometimes one of them just works better. Like it's like a key that opens up a lock better than the other one. So if you guys have ever heard of like omeprazole, Prilosec, the antacid drug,
Yeah.
and then there's
mhm.
esomeprazole, it's because it's literally the enantiomer of omeprazole. It's the mirror
Other
image,
hand. Yeah.
and it just kind of works a little bit better. So
You love your drugs.
I do.
I am very interested in it as well.
I mean,
There is, however, another stubborn problem that confronts evolutionary theory. Remember, there are over 100 amino acids, but only 20 are needed for life's proteins. Moreover, they come in two shapes. Some of the molecules are right-handed, the others are left-handed. Should they be formed at random, as in the theoretical organic soup, it is most likely that half would be right-handed and half left-handed, and there is no known reason why either shape should be preferred in living things. Yet, of the 20 amino acids used in producing life's proteins, all you hear me,
All italics.
are left-handed. That exclamation point right there. However,
Let's
it
say
is
it with a lean.
However, it is that at random, only the specifically required kinds will be united in the soup.
United in the soup. Oh, I'm sorry.
Physicist J.D. Bernal acknowledges it must be admitted that the explanation still remains one of the most difficult parts of the structural aspects of life to explain. He concluded, "We may never be able to explain it." They're saying, see, they don't have the answer, but we do. Jehovah did it.
Jehovah do.
Mhm.
See, they got to be wrong because they don't have the answer, but we have an answer, even though we can just make it fit anything we want it to be.
Pretty much.
I just took a biology class, and I have no idea what in the hell left-handed and right-handed amino acids are. That didn't come up in biology class, whether an amino acid was left-handed or right-handed.
well, I mean, it is true, but I also went and found that in 1948, Louis Pasteur, kind of a cool guy, I'm starting to think this guy was pretty smart, discovered that some molecules essential for life exist in mirror image forms, much like our left and our right hands. Today, we know biology chooses just one of these chiral forms. DNA, RNA, and their building blocks are all right-handed, whereas amino acids and proteins are all left-handed. Pasteur, who saw hints of the selectivity or homochirality,
Oh,
thought
okay.
magnetic fields might somehow explain it, but its origins has remained one of biology's great mysteries. Maybe we still don't know. I don't know. It goes on and on. But yeah. So what? Proteins and amino acids are left-handed, and your DNA and RNA is right-handed. I don't know. Maybe that's just how it has to work. Maybe there's something to that. That's
Right.
See,
There
you
likely
don't
is
have an
something
answer,
to that we
I
just
don't.
don't understand yet.
But
and that's
it doesn't mean aha.
it. Do
Shitting on it is not the way we're going to get there. That's for certain.
And why didn't they bring up
Expanding
the
our
DNA
opinion
is
is
the
better.
opposite? Like, I feel like it's just a way of
Right.
being like, see, and you're just supposed to be like, oh wow, that is weird. Why would that be? Except that there's obviously a balance, maybe, or either that's how they work together. DNA synthesizes proteins. I mean, maybe they have to be opposite or they won't work.
I don't know. It seems like y'all debate this. Y'all don't know, but we do know Jehovah did it though.
Yep.
We know for
Well,
sure. We know for
we
sure on
may
that.
never be able to explain it according to
But,
this book.
We
but,
may
We'll
never be able
never
to
be
explain it.
well,
I don't know.
Well,
Okay to be
y'all,
like, you know what? There's a gap right here, but all of this other stuff is around it, and
Just
like
put
your
God
eyes
in there.
will fill in the gap when it's looking at stuff. Like sometimes you're not actually seeing things. Your eye is just sort of your brain is filling in the gaps. Go look that up. Shit.
I fill my gap with God.
hey, oh, nice. I do too
Great no
sometimes.
gap.
I want to ask you, do y'all want to stop here, or do you want to set a goal for it to stop? Because it's been an hour right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're like halfway through.
We're only halfway through.
Damn.
At best, we're halfway through.
Oh, through this
Yeah.
chapter.
He said-
They
Yes,
got-
I'm
they
telling
got-
you. That's why I was like, are you guys sick of this?
No,
yet? Like,
I'm not. I mean, like, we can end right here, but I mean, like,
ask the two.
they got more to. What more could they say?
oh my god. All right, well, just go
Apparently
to
not.
the titles.
No. I know. I'm saying we can stop right here and pick back up.
I
But
mean, we can go through the paragraph titles just to see what's left.
we ain't.
If
No,
they
we
wanna-
ain't skimming
I'm
through Jehovah's
with brother.
word.
I'm with Brother Rickshaw. We can stop here and pick back up.
No. Y'all are gonna suffer through this. We read
No.
every piece of this book.
So like,
Yeah,
did
later,
the
but
book
not
getting
today.
studies do a
word of the
whole
Lord.
chapter a week? Like, did they do one whole chapter?
If they
'Cause the whole book
did,
was
I
like an
see.
hour.
If
I
they,
don't think so.
I don't know.
I think we went through it because that would go too quickly.
That's what I mean.
I'm
like,
pretty sure I remember that they would stop
hurry
it.
up.
but I
Yes,
don't. But we gotta think
certain
about it though. They're
points.
not. But y'all wasn't going through it like how we're going
Actually,
through it. Y'all just flying through it like, yeah, we agree.
didn't
Any
the
questions,
theocratic
anybody?
Yep,
I'm
right.
pretty sure the theocratic ministry school, the more of like the paper, I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it, more newspaper looking
Yeah, the
kind of
longer
one.
one.
It would tell you like what paragraphs like you were supposed to go through and where
A
you were
guide
gonna
of like where you
Uh,
should be at.
I'm
right.
pretty sure I remember that's how they used to do it back in the day.
That sounds
But it
right.
wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But you gotta think about it. It wouldn't matter because they'll be reading through this so fast, and everybody just be
Mhm.
Any questions?
Makes
Yep, we
sense.
got it.
You're
Anything
not
else?
allowed to ask. You're not allowed to ask questions. You know that, right? No. Does
Don't
anybody
do it.
ever ask a question? No, you answer
Yeah,
questions.
they got
and
questions at the
because they've
bottom.
given
The
you
questions at the
answers.
bottom. The questions
Yeah,
at
and
the
you
bottom.
just highlighted
They
the
already-
answer.
You
They
don't get
already-
to say, "I don't get it. Can you explain that further?"
They're
No.
already giving you the question you're supposed to ask at the bottom.
Mhm.
So you already know the
Right.
questions. Oh, I'm supposed to ask these questions, not my own.
Mhm.
But I
Exactly.
really do want to know about the bean tonight. I really want to know about the beans tonight. And we're right there at the beans. Can we at least get to know about the beans?
Oh, where are we
Where's
at?
that?
What it means?
On 17. Isn't that
Oh,
where we're
okay.
at?
Yeah,
All
we're
right. So,
17.
do y'all want us to the goal? Do you want to go all the way to
Let's go all the
We
way.
could go to the next
Let's
one.
go
The
the
We can
remarkable
go.
genetic
all the
code?
way.
Yeah,
Let's see what's next.
the incredible edible egg.
Egg.
Okay.
Which came first?
We'll stop at 21.
Okay,
Okay.
Ooh,
So
we're
we're-
halfway.
Go back up.
21.
there we
There
go.
we go. Ah.
You
I'll
do
stop
something
being
for me.
obnoxious. Go.
Probability in spontaneous
Love you.
proteins. What chance is there that the correct amino acid would come together to form a protein molecule.
I'll be right back.
It
Sorry,
could
sorry.
be likened to having a big, thoroughly con, mixed pile containing equal numbers of red beans and white beans there, and all there are also over 100 different varieties of beans. Now, if you plunged a scoop into this pile, what do you think you will get? To get the beans that represent the basic components of protein, you will have to scoop up only red ones, no white ones at all. Also, your scoop must contain only 20 varieties of the red beans, and each one must be in a specific preassigned place in the scoop. In the world of protein, a single mistake in any one of these requirements would cause the protein that is produced to fail to function properly. With any amount of stirring and scooping in our hypothetical bean pile,
Bean
And your
pie.
hypothetical kitty litter
That's what I
box.
call my. That's what I call my downstairs. My bean
bean
pie.
pile have given the right combination? No. They asked you a question and then they gave you the answer. No. Then how would it have been possible in the hypothetical organic soup? The proteins needed for life have very complex molecules. What is the chance of even a simple protein molecule forming at random in an organic soup? Evolutionists acknowledge it to be only 1 in 10. Um, Dr. Time, what is that?
113th. Is that how you
To
would
the
say that?
113th power.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. One followed by the answer's right behind me. One followed by 113 zeros. But any event that has one chance and just, I guess, and
Turning
dismissed by
50.
mathematics is never happening. An idea of the odds or probabilities involved is seen in the fact that the number 10, one followed by 113 zeros, is larger than the estimated total number of all the atoms in the universe. Some proteins serve as structural material and others as enzymes. The latter speeds up needed chemical reaction in the cell. Without such help, the cell would die. Not just a few, but 2,000 proteins serving as enzymes are needed for cells' activity. What are the chances of obtaining all of these at random? One chance is 10, or however you say that. And an
10
outrageously
10,000.
And Google.
small an outrageously small probability. Hoyle asserts that could not be faced even in the whole universe consisted of organic soup. He adds, if one is not prejudiced either by social belief or a scientific training into the convictions that life originated spontaneously on the earth, this simple calculation wipes the idea entirely out of court. However, the chances actually are far fewer than this outrageously small figures indicate. There must be a membrane enclosing the cell, but this membrane is extremely complex, made up of protein, sugar, fat molecules. As evolutionist Leslie Orgel writes, modern cells membranes include channels and pumps, which specifically control the influx and efflux of nutrients, waste production, metal ions, and so on. These specialized channels involve highly specific proteins, molecules that could not have been present at the very beginning of the evolution of life. Wow. Way to not explain a single thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What a,
Basically.
you throwing out membranes and just a lot of big side like they just breeze over this.
Yeah. So just going back to the what is it? The evolutionists acknowledge that to be only 1 in 10 and 113ths I don't know, to 113 power.
Yeah.
Incredibly large number. And any event that has one chance in just 1 in 50 is dismissed as never happening. So they've come up with this probability of what, like this bean, right? This bean thing where you
Bean
scoop
pile.
into the bean
The bean
pile
pile.
and you get the perfect exact combination of things the first time in order for that to happen. So again, this is this concept that they keep going to of everything in order for it to ever happen has to have happened perfectly every time.
The first time.
It only needs to happen once.
Right.
That's the thing. It really only needs to happen once. And Richard Dawkins actually talks about that in his book, where it then replicates itself and again, and eventually that's how you get this primordial soup of just like an ocean full of these kinds of molecules.
It has to happen the first time you scoop.
The first time you only get.
And
If it don't happen the first time you scoop, you just give up.
Right. You just stop. You only got one try, man.
Yes.
Not one try.
Oh, I guess we'll never get all red beans, whatever.
So there's a website that I don't think it will let me post it in the chat, but I tried to copy paste it in there. But anyway, it has a really good explanation of this scientist and how they got these numbers. And I believe, and it's been a while since I looked at it, but essentially what they did is they did line up the probability of all these things happening the first and one time, and not like the fact that it had billions of years to keep trying over and over again. If you take that scoop and you scoop that bean pile billions and billions of times over billions of years, do you think maybe somebody might win the lottery?
Right, exactly.
No, never.
And it's not.
Never.
It's just
once it starts,
all the components are there, right? They've oversimplified it and they made it sound this like convoluted thing, but it's had so much time to do it that this number they're quoting is not even close to the real statistical chance that it happened. Because again, we're here.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful, exactly.
I love seeing beautiful beans.
Go check it out.
This year, 19.
Mm-hmm.
They were just throwing out a lot of information.
Yeah.
Then they threw out the 10 to the 40, 100,000.
Because it's not like the people that's sitting in this Bible study is studying any of these. Are regular Joes those people are regular average people that are not deep into science like that. They took a couple science classes in high school and that's it.
And tons of kids who are impressionable.
Yep.
Dirty dogs.
Man, got y'all good too.
They did. They tried it.
Got your ass.
They really tried it.
Now they're getting cartoons. Their cartoons getting better and better. Not in terms of quality, in terms of entertaining quality, but their ability to put them out.
It's their ability to just take information and then twist it into make it even more complicated than they really probably could have taught people a good version of a really good version of evolution. I don't know.
Like they put
evolution if they wanted to, but they took all this time just to.
They really put the effort. They put a lot of effort into just like. Bravo.
That's why when they republished it in 2006, they didn't change a thing.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, because they got it right the first time.
That's right.
Exactly.
They didn't need to double check their sources after.
They didn't need to plunge
30 years.
The beans.
Science had advanced.
Isn't that Isn't that interesting? They say that science you'd have to plunge the scoop into the beans, but they never. Once they plunged it in and scooped up until they get new light, but for the most part, their bean plunge is done. It's perfect.
They're like if they were shooting at a target, they shoot first, then they put the target on wherever it lands. Oh yeah, see,
Mhm.
we got a perfect bullseye.
Got it.
Yeah, because you put the bullseye where your arrow landed at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about moving the target. Wherever this lands is where I'm going to put the target. That's the
Mhm.
perfect analogy.
Good.
Oh,
Good. There
perfect.
we go.
So, yeah, I don't know, you guys. This is just so painful.
It really is
It
truly
is.
painful. I have so many things I want
I
to
mean, it just keeps
say.
going. Like every single chapter as we go, like they're still gonna talk about genetics, and they're gonna get it really badly wrong, and they're gonna keep talking about the chance of something forming. Oh my god! And then they're gonna talk about photosynthesis, and they're probably not really gonna teach us it very well or at all. And then they're
I
gonna
think
talk about intelligence.
I think the devil's in you.
Yes.
I don't think the devil's in you, Dr. Tom.
I mean,
You trying to discourage us from reading the good word.
they have a
Burn
paragraph
her.
called "Is it scientific?"
Yeah,
Um,
you use science words.
I think she's a witch. We should burn her.
Yep, which
Burn her.
and then we're gonna do this all over again with the fossil record and
I can't wait to get there.
Mhm.
ape
Do
man.
you or do you not weigh more than a duck?
What?
I do float more than a duck, right? Is that
Duh.
way more? Yeah.
You're a witch.
Oh yeah. You don't float.
Yeah.
Can you just hear the snickers in the building when this was read out loud? The origin of the genetic code poses a massive chicken and egg problem that remains at present completely scrambled.
Oh, got him.
Everybody looking around. That's so true. It's so funny.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry. I just
Yeah, those little jabs on the side sometimes
Yeah.
are probably worse than the actual content that they.
exactly. Uh-huh. The
Ugh.
illustrations really stick in people's minds.
God.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
honestly, we
looking
could
pen.
point out all the logical fallacies and like turn it into a drinking game or. We could be
They
just-
always think they're being slick and funny.
I'd be tore up.
They think
yeah, I would not recommend that drinking game. Actually, you would. It doesn't sound healthy.
we'd be
End up in the
very
ER.
drunk by
Not-
the end of it.
Not for the faint of heart.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, this is a great quote. Look what I did here.
Oh, yeah.
all that research just to trick people. Like that's
Dude,
the thing that frustrates me when they do research. It's only to twist it and to
It's
Yeah.
very disingenuous.
make it more
Somebody
difficult.
had
to
to, somebody had to go deep into that, and
understand.
honestly, and they just said, "I'm just gonna make up some stuff."
Because you have to know you have to know a little something. I mean, not a lot, certainly, but you've got to know a bit to be able to even write an entire book like this. And
But
of course, they have teams to do it with.
But it would make more sense if you're really trying to do it. You would the whole congregation would go through it together in terms of going into these studies, looking into all this stuff. But no, it's just somebody reporting back. Hey, this is what I went out and got. No need to go out yourself. I got it all right here.
Mm-hmm.
But
some of these arguments they're making, I found pretty satisfying. Oops. The blind watchmaker. If you guys have ever heard this,
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah,
One
I
of my
think
favorites.
I've heard of that one before.
it's still in line with like the 747 theory, where like a Boeing 747 will. What are the odds of it coming together on its own and all the pieces falling into place? What are the odds of a watch all coming together on its own? That's what an eye is. And that's what, like, they're going to get into that more. And it's still the same argument. And they do that argument the whole way through. They're doing it with abiogenesis. They're doing it with every stage of evolution. We're going to get to organs and eyes. And
when you got a good,
that's a misconception of how.
Well, when you got a good argument, you can use it all the time.
You just string it through.
It'll debunk everything.
I want to say real quick, one of the reasons I love that the watchmaker argument, like one of the more specific things about the watchmaker in particular, is if you had all of the pieces for a watch in a box and you shook that box, would it turn into a watch? And everybody obviously thinks, obviously no, it would never turn into a watch. But over an infinite period of time, if you did that over and over again, an infinite amount of times, it would eventually turn into a watch. So even the
Because why?
argument itself,
There's a
be,
piece missing.
because why? What? What about
Natural
piece missing?
selection. The piece that's missing is the randomness, right? The randomness of shaking a box and
keeps
having all the pieces
like
come together. And the
mhm.
piece they keep ignoring is what natural selection is, which is the part of nature that goes, hey, these two pieces go together. We're going to stay together. So now take that same analogy, shake that box. You have a million years to shake it. And any piece that comes together that fits nicely will
Exactly.
stay there.
Well,
And then you
Exactly.
keep shaking it, and it keeps, and eventually you will shake.
You
It's
get one.
Brava.
You get one shake to make
One
a watch.
shake.
That you get one scoop. And
One
that's
scoop.
just how
Two
they
shakes and it's
dumb
plain.
everything down to just a very simple
One scoop.
it's just it.
scooping the bean.
One scoop, one shake.
I'm gonna go flick the bean after that.
Scooping the bean.
Sorry.
I love this. I love this so much.
I tried to go. You could buy. I tried to buy. I went to see if beanpile.com was available.
What? Beanpile.com.
And
It costs like $2,000 to get it.
Oh
Dang.
my god.
That could be worth it.
Yeah, it could be. I could double. I could triple my money. Literally, just gonna be. I'm just literally gonna be pictures of beans.
Oh, brother.
Wait, doesn't Hank Green have that bean Furby?
Yes, the baked bean Furby. Turns out that
Gosh.
still might support a certain thing.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, what I was gonna say earlier is go read the Richard Dawkins book, The Blind Watchmaker, because he takes a few jabs at the Jehovah's Witness. This book specifically, because they took a jab at him in this. So it's turnabout is fair play. And when he updated his books, though, he actually did edit things and put a preface in what he changed. By the way, so just saying.
Just calling somebody out, maybe if they decide to, republish a book and update it.
Maybe do something.
Maybe do some more research. Maybe
I'm gonna even
instead of putting a white guy on the cover. Isn't that the only difference? Is they put like some white guy on the cover?
Yeah.
They put the real image of Jesus on the cover.
And a monkey,
Jesus.
I think. Like, I think it's kind of like
that's Jesus.
Ain't they passing like a banana to each other or something?
Oh yeah, I think everybody needs to take a moment before you leave. Hit the like button on your way out the door, by the way, and take a look at the beautiful artwork that this link has. Did somebody create this?
Yes, we have to thank our friend Jonathan,
Ex-Witness Awake, perhaps, who made this artwork.
One of the better pieces of Jehovah's Witness artwork I've seen.
Yes, shout out. Actually, here, hold on. I know how I can pull it up too. Give me a second. Sorry. I
love the thumbnails you create for this, by the way. Each time you change it a little differently, and it just gets funnier.
Okay.
Add that to stage. There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Nice.
My thought is that
take my money.
All of the facial expressions work perfect in this scenario that has been created. Like, let's give the monkey money.
Money.
And his face, it's just all their facial expressions work together.
Which one is that? Is that Stephen Lett, or who is that?
That's
Which
Lett.
one of the governing bodies is that?
Yep.
That
is Stephen Lett.
Did not know who any of them were until recently.
Man, I can't believe they call y'all people called elders. That's hilarious.
These are our governing body members, actually.
Do y'all use elders The term
Yes.
elders.
Yes, elders are like the local
Those are
guys that are.
local lords.
Y'all are really
Yes,
like
the
tight. Like
local lords. Yeah, we need to really start calling them what they are, the
this.
overseers.
This really feels like y'all really is like Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons are very similar.
Thank you,
How
Dan.
dare
One thing that
you?
I would say
I
is
mean, y'all.
I tell
Wow.
Jehovah's Witnesses sometimes if I'm getting pissed off at a Jehovah's Witness, I will say, I think y'all are a cult. You might have to ask your elders what you call it.
Well said. Yeah. See what they say to
Yep,
tell you what to believe, basically.
exactly.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, book study
And
should
then
be
they will
over
get
now.
pissed off and never talk to you again.
Well,
Yes, it
this
should
is
be.
after book study chatter, you guys. Like, we ended this unceremoniously because we don't do the prayer thing. There's no point.
Yes.
Right,
Um,
right. There's
Brother
just
Rickshaw, would you like
done.
to lead us in prayer?
Um,
Natural selection came
dear,
first.
dear Jehovah, please, please soften their hearts, return them back, and let them know the truth that life didn't start spontaneous. You did it.
But
Amen.
that Genesis said it did.
As proven by our Messiah, Louis Pasteur.
Yes, let's all thank Louis Pasteur for not just one major achievement, but many scientific achievements.
Thank you,
So,
Louis,
yes,
Remember-
for
everybody go
putting that
home and
cloth
thank
over that jar.
Remember
That's
tonight,
right.
take these wise words with you. All you need is one scoop.
Breast monkey,
One
monkey,
scoop and one
breast
shake.
monkey, monkey.
One
One
scoop,
scoop
one
of that
shake. That's all you
bean.
get.
That's
One
it.
scoop, one scoop, one shake.
Don't take no more.
Jehovah Witness
You
ice
get
cream.
one cookie. That's it.
Oh,
One cookie,
One
one
cookie.
scoop.
We've
One
been
chance.
eating the cookies off screen. So.
One cookie, one
I
chance.
actually
Actually,
have
I'm
had
gonna
some
go.
cookies
I'm
off
gonna have
screen.
me a brownie after this. I got
that
the
sounds
special
delicious.
kind.
Nice.
Oh,
I have cookies, but it's a flour kind of cookies.
Do Jehovah
all right.
Witnesses
Let's end
do?
this.
Do Jehovah
Let's
Witnesses
end
do
this.
communion?
End it. End the
No,
world.
no. Next time we'll get there.
Okay.
When we talk about fossils, we can talk about communion.
Fossils.
I'm
Talking
just
about me.
eating dead bones. I don't know. Anyway,
Devil trickery.
Dead bones, dead bones.
I don't really even know what communion is. So no, the answer is
Oh, you don't? Oh,
It's when you get drunk
the
on
memorial
wine, eat some
thing
bread.
when the bread we're not allowed to eat that didn't look appetizing at all anyway. So
oh, it ain't really.
Unseasoned Pringles.
It's just grape juice and some
I
paper.
just
Like
wanted pretzels. Like
it's like
Yeah,
this,
I'd rather have like a sesame seed, like pretzel crisp or something. That would be really good.
the last one I had. It
Yeah,
tastes like
that'd be nice.
styrofoam.
we're
We should
never
tell
getting out of
Jehovah.
here.
Yeah. It's like
Just end
styrofoam.
it. Just kill it.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We had a really good night. We appreciate you being here. The world is a crazy place, so it's nice to have some people we can just kind of just breathe for a moment
Equal hugs.
and yeah, love each other and hugs, and of course, always come to know Jehovah. Thank you all for being here. Have a great night. You all. Bye.
Mine. I'm trying to get my hat. My
See
cat's
ya.
gonna be Jehovah
Love you
Witness
so
soon.
much.